This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Nguni. Today, we will plead temporary insanity. But first, we will submit that Raila Odinga will be the fifth president of Kenya. And this is not the insane part yet. The insane part is Martha Karua, the only Kikuyu man who will make William Ruto pee in his pants. In the past, we expelled her from the Fort Hall Primary School of Politics because she had a hole in her political head. Now, we will cover that hole with our political insanity. If Martha Karua runs as Raila Odinga's deputy, Ruto will only see State House from TikTok. And because Raila is older than the United Nations, he can only be a transitional president for 5 years. Then at the age of 83, he will retire in 2027. This will give us a chance to have the first woman president in Kenya. But that is not our main point. Our argument of primary thrust is that Martha Karua could inherit Uhuru Kenyatta. And a Raila Karua ticket is a powerful path to this appointed destiny.
The RARUA ticket will sell bigly, and it will sell bigly because Raila will be a transitional president, serving for one term on account of his old age. In 2022, Raila will be 77. By the end of his first term in 2027, he will be 83. If he stood for re-election and won, he would retire from the presidency at almost 90. Jomo Kenyatta was 84 when he died in office. This means that in 2027, after one term in office, Raila will be as old as Jomo when Jomo died. A re-election, therefore, would be out of the question. Similarly, Daniel Arap Moi was 78 when he retired, and Mwai Kibaki was 83 when he left office. If this is the pattern, Kikuyus know that supporting Raila will guarantee a return to power in 5 years, as opposed to 30 years under Ruto. And this is how Deputy President Martha Karua will become president in 2027. If Martha Karua runs on the RARUA ticket in 2022 and Babaman does not run in 2027, Raila will give Martha Karua the Tosha magic. And we know that no one is better at breathing political life into a politician than Babaman.
People say that Martha Karua is as boring and as irritating as a fly hovering over bad Mutura. And to that we say, so what? No one is one thing and no one is everything. Martha Karua is somewhere in between. Beneath her business frown is her business smile. History shows us that women of power have been more misunderstood than studied. Angela Merkel was called a bland piece of white toast. Wangari Maathai was called a mad woman who loved to hug trees. Martha Karua has been called a man just because she is tough. And Margaret Thatcher had to rearrange her teeth to cope with the deficit masculinity of her male colleagues. What is our point? Stubbornness and blandness are not the problem. They are the prerequisite. Take Margaret Thatcher, for instance. They called her the Iron Lady as part of male ridicule. Yet her ironness opened up Britain's economy, established London as a financial powerhouse, and won a war. What do you think mattered more, her accomplishments or her smile? To Martha Karua, therefore, we say, continue being the irritating fly, continue the smile behind the frown, and continue being Martha Karua. And this is how RARUA will make you president.
Why is this a Martha Karua moment? And why is a woman the one to stop Ruto from cheating Gema? Similarly, what makes the RARUA ticket a Gema vehicle for 2022? Moments create political vacuums that only a select few can fill. And of the select few, only one will take the helm. And if it is a man's world, as James Brown said, what about this moment favors Martha Karua to become Raila's deputy? Here is our submission. When a people cannot agree on which man will take leadership, the next natural option becomes a woman. Fact. So how did a man's world become the age of the woman? You see, power abhors a vacuum. And when called upon, Kenyan women have always stepped up. Remember our colonial history. Who stepped in when the freedom fighters were thrown into prison? Remember our fight for multi-party politics? Who stepped in to get their sons out of prison? Martha Karua is a direct descendant of Kenyan historical struggles. She has never shied from filling in the power vacuums. As in every moment, chance favors the prepared mind and opportunity favors the bold. Ask Samia Suluhu.
There were only two men in Mwai Kibaki's government. The first was Lucy Kibaki and the second was Martha Karua. Everyone else around Kibaki was a flower girl. In fact, if it were not for Martha Karua, Kibaki would not have been president in 2007. We must never forget the KICC military siege that was led by Martha. And the question therefore is this. If she defended Kibaki and Gema then, can she defend Gema after Uhuru Kenyatta retires? Is she the king in waiting in Gema? And can we trust her? If she sneaks in through Ruto, she will dither and wither away in the wilderness until she dies a bitter and angry grandmother. Ashindwe! However, if she uses the RARUA ticket, she will become deputy president under Raila. In 2007, Raila had 44% of the vote. In 2013, Raila had 44% of the vote without Mudavadi. In 2017, Raila had 44% of the vote. If our math is right, Raila has 44% of the vote. All he needs is 6% of the Gema vote plus Uhuru's 1 vote. Surely, if Uhuru chooses Karua as his successor, do you think he would lack 6% of Kikuyu vote to support her? 0.
And now, a random thought. George Bernard Shaw taught us that there are two types of men. And because we have called Martha Karua a man, we must introduce her to manness. We have the reasonable man and the unreasonable man. The reasonable man adapts to the twists and turns of the world. But the unreasonable man insists that the twists and turns of the world should adapt to him. And the question George Bernard Shaw poses is this: who amongst the two changes the world? Then he teaches us that all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Dear Martha Karua, you are an unreasonable man. And that is why the RARUA ticket will make you deputy president and later president. The Lord is calling you to use your unreasonableness to seal the political hole in your head using our insanity. Put simply, you have been in the wilderness for 12 years. Jesus was there for only 40 days and he changed the world. It means you can do so much more than Jesus. With 12 years in the wilderness and the Odinga 100 years in political limbo, the year of the Lord has been pronounced upon thee. Amen.